gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Your host Dani, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, girls of your day. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. City so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Your host Dani, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, girls of your day. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so...
Good morning, Frederick. Today is Tuesday, July 9th. I'm your host, Dani Gurry. Welcome to show number 70. It is kind of hard to believe, to be honest, that before April 1st of this year, this show didn't exist. And I seriously am having the best time. And I appreciate so much support that you guys have given. It's really kind of overwhelming. I think about it very often that I would not be here without you guys and your support. I don't know what's happening with my hair today. I just caught my glimpse in the video. Anyway, look, it's just been a phenomenal ride so far, and I'm looking forward to kind of seeing where this goes. I was saying to somebody yesterday that when I decided to go ahead and do this, I said I'm going to go 110% at it for 90 days. And after 90 days, I will assess whether it's something that can sustain itself or not. And if it didn't work, it wouldn't be, a huge thing as far as I'm concerned. We gave it a try, we did the best we could, and we can move on. But I feel like this kind of is gaining some momentum, and I really, really do appreciate that. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but right now, whatever platform you're watching on, we're actually streaming to 8 different places at the same time, which is kind of cool. Gives a lot of people access to the show itself, and that is how we have barreled our way to very close to 100,000 views across all those platforms. I do believe we're going to hit that probably in the next 2 weeks, which is phenomenal. I just, again, can't believe it. So if you're a business and you're thinking about sponsoring and jumping on board, or you'd like to be interviewed, now is the time. You can just text me, email me you can email me everythingfredericklive@gmail.com. You can text. Here, I'll put the numbers up on the bottom. You can text, and I'd love to have you on the show. Right now, I am booking interviews for about three weeks out, but just so you know, really, as soon as I finish the stream, I hop in the car and I'm usually out until late in the afternoon, doing 3 to 4 interviews a day. And it's so amazing that, and I really do have to count, since April 1st and 70 shows, and that means probably close to 150 to 200 interviews. I've only interviewed about 45% of people that I knew before April 1st. Now, some I was aware of but had never met, and some I'd never heard of at all. Nonprofits, local businesses. There are so many people out there doing such great stuff, and I am just so excited to be able to bring them to you, because these people are working hard, chasing a dream or helping this community, and I love giving that some exposure. Somebody asked me, why this? Well, why not? No one else is doing a show all about Frederick. I love this town. I love the people in it. And I'm passionate about helping local business succeed. That includes giving exposure where I can, and also helping, if I can, with their marketing and their forward-going brand, because people forget very easily and very quickly about who you are. And so it's very important to remain top of mind. But I partnered with Shannon Flannery, who started the group Everything Frederick and More. And if you're not part of that Facebook group, Everything Frederick and More, you're crazy. You're missing out, because there's about 131,000 people who are part of that group. And if you're a local business and you're not using the group Everything Frederick and More to your advantage, that is super nuts, because A, it's free, and B, it is huge. It is a great platform. Now, I do think you have to work your messaging just like you would any marketing. Do an A/B test. Run 2 different things within about a week and see which one garners more engagement. Look at the times you're posting and all that good stuff. And I'm happy to help you with that, free of charge anytime, to be honest, just so that you can take advantage. But when I reached out to Shannon with this idea of a show that was very much in line with what she was doing with that group, and she absolutely gave me the opportunity to work with her. We're very aligned, and we want to support not only local business, but local nonprofits. So right now, we are supporting 2 nonprofits, and I have a box, actually 2 boxes now, of shoes, collecting new shoes for kids for Souls of Love. Now, this is Julie Gaver's last year heading up this event, and her goal is 5,000 pairs of shoes. Last year, I did over 100 pairs of shoes, just over. This year, I'd love to do 200 pairs of shoes, but I need your help. So if you can drop off new shoes to the home of Everything Frederick, Thursdays to Sundays, that's wonderful. I have until July 19th or 20th or something around there before I have to get the shoes to Julie. And, I'd love to hit that goal. If you can't get the shoes or don't have time to shop but are happy to send Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, or Zelle, my details are on the screen. I will send you a photo of the shoes that were purchased for the kiddos. Trust me, I want to get this goal, and am going to do pretty much whatever I have to get there. Also, if you're a local business and you're looking for a tax write-off, you can join people like Ken's Transmissions, who gave $500 towards the purchase of new shoes, which helped immensely, as well as, and I keep forgetting their name, shame on me. I'm going to grab it in the break and then I'll tell you. But I've gotten 2 checks for $500 each, and I'm looking for a couple more if possible. So please help if you can. That's why I'm here. That's why I feel like this platform exists, to help better this community. All right. And also, we are collecting school supplies for the United Way's Stuff the Bus campaign. So either school supplies or shoes, we will take them for you and get them to the people who are going to help our kiddos start school in a great way. All right, on today's show, I talk with local artist Yemi about his journey from Nigeria to Frederick and the art that has sustained him. And Momma Cone and I visit Serina at Dublin Roasters to get a lesson in coffee bean roasting. Chris Michaels and Bob Miller join me from WFMD's Morning News Express, and they're going to cover the local news, weather, and sports. Plus, as always, I've got your giveaways and all the events for this week and this weekend. Let's get today going. Thank you to the show sponsor, We Help You Move, whether you're moving across the street or somewhere around the country. Nicholas and his team of moving experts can make the whole thing easy. We Help You Move is veteran owned and a supporter of the Frederick community. We Help You Move is a fantastic way to take the stress out of moving. It is a stressful time, I know. Nicholas and his team moved me and my family from our townhouse to storage while our house was being built, and then from storage to the home. I called him because when Momma Cone was moving in, I needed a couch moved from the loft upstairs down to her area, and I couldn't do it. And he sent people over to take care of that for me as well. So, as simple as maybe moving some furniture around your house, even if you need it. I mean, they're not really the redecorators, but I bet he would help you if you needed that. You can contact Nick at wehelpyoumove.com, and be sure to say hi to Michelle. She holds down the fort there for him as well. All right, let's find out what's happening with our local news, weather, and sports. Bob Miller and Chris Michaels are here from WFMD's Morning News Express. Well, hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey,
I see, Chris, you've got that polish on your scalp there. I don't know. Is that intentional? Are you sweating? What's happening over there?
No, Danny, I'm glowing, obviously. That's what Bob always tells me. I'm glowing.
Glowing. Yes, you are. You are glowing. Yes.
Spitting,
I love it.
Is. Yeah.
Can we say that when the FCC regulates you saying that word?
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
what did you say?
Like you're spitzing.
Oh, I heard something else. I'm sorry, I heard something else. Okay, never mind.
Well, that's okay. Thankfully, we're not covered by FCC rules, so we can pretty much say whatever.
Well, we won't. We won't.
Yes. So happy Tuesday. Is there any good news, Chris? I'm going to ask first.
Well, you're asking the wrong person because he's bringing you, Eddie.
Well, the good news is me and Bob are here. That's good news,
that is
right?
good news, of course. Frederick, we need the good news section. I don't know, but of course we do need to know what is happening locally. Chris, why don't you give us that update?
So you said today's Tuesday, right?
Today is.
That means
yes.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. So if you look at the calendar after Tuesday, the calendar says WTF. And I'll just, and those of you who know what that means, after Tuesday. So anyway, getting into news. Let's see here. I got to have a little bit of humor before I bring the
yes.
Frederick police are investigating a shooting early Friday morning at around 3:05 a.m. Officers respond to the area of East All Saints Street parking garage for a man who sustained a gunshot wound. And if it's 3:05 in the morning, you don't want to be in the East All Saints Street parking garage. I'm just saying. The victim was given immediate care and transported to an area trauma center where he reported to be in stable condition. Police say the shooting itself is believed to have occurred along the Carroll Creek line of park between East Street and South Market Street. Of course, anyone who has information on this incident is asked to contact Frederick Police. They can call Detective, and I'm probably going to botch his name. I'm sorry, Yachovich at 240-549-4450, or send an email to kyakkovich@frederickmdpolice.org. Citizens with information who wish to remain anonymous can call the tip line at 301-600-TIPS. So again, if you know something, say something. They can definitely use your help in solving this. It's part of an EPA mandate. The city of Frederick says it has launched a comprehensive lead service line inventory. It's part of the lead and copper rule revisions mandated by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. In a statement, Mayor Michael O'Connor says the city maintains clean and high-quality drinking water for all its residents, but it's continuing to take steps to meet the high standards set by the EPA. Clean drinking water for our residents is a fundamental and necessary priority of any government organization. And I will say this, Danny, and Bob knows this because I always talk about this on air. I love getting my water. I'm not going to say where because it's busy enough. I think you have an idea of where it is, Danny. I love getting my water at a certain mountain spring, and it is, man, it is good. But the problem is, if you don't go up there at like 4 o'clock in the morning when I do before I get to work, it is packed.
Yeah, so it's so funny you say this. I had forgotten about all of that, and I was visiting, I think I was when I was interviewing Sarah Coleman. I was there, and a woman was probably in her 70s, was talking about getting her water and traipsing down there with her, her containers, and I'd forgotten all about it. So it's packed up there, is it?
It is packed. I mean, the water, that's the only place I get my water from. I have 5 big buckets I use, and usually I get there around 4 in the morning. And let me tell you, it is creepy up there at 4 o'clock in the morning. You never know if you're going to run into a bear or a lion or a tiger or a giraffe or who knows.
Sasquatch.
But Sasquatch, there you go.
Yeah.
So when Bob sends the text message, hey, Chris, are you at work? I'm like, no, Bob, I'm getting water. But the water is so good. It's natural. It's ice cold when it comes out. So that's where I get my water from.
Isn't all water natural water? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go there, Chris, I mean, you can always go down to the bottom of Gravel Hill Road and Gravel Hill and Dublin Road. They've got a continuous running spigot. People are there all the time. So
I don't want gravel. I don't want gravel in my water, Bob. That's the only difference. Gravel Hill Road sounds like it's not gravel.
So wait, Bob, where is that one? Is that in Walkersville?
Well, it's right there at Dublin Road and Gravel Hill Road. More Woodsboro than it is Walkersville.
Oh, right.
And it's right there at the corner. And people are there all the time filling up their water buckets and their gallon containers. Now, I don't know if they're drinking. I know as a kid, we used to ride down there all the time because it was always cold and it was always wonderful. Today, they probably, oh, my gosh, there's probably EPA warnings and everything. Who cares? It's spring-fed. It's wonderful water. Yeah. You don't have to worry about Sasquatch or meth addicts in the mountains to attack you. So
we are very lucky here, living in an area on so many springs. I mean, obviously, where my parents live, Yellow Springs, there's a ton of fresh water. Their well is, been amazing, and so I think we're very, very lucky to have all that.
Just stay away from Fort Detrick. I'm just saying.
Or Carroll Creek water. You just
you don't want to drink that.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do that. All right, getting back to news here. Okay, so 2 road improvement projects. So here you go, your tax money at work here. 2 road improvement projects will impact drivers this week. Frederick County's Division of Public Works warns motorists to expect delays along Sugarloaf Parkway during evening and overnight hours for paving operations. DPW also asked motorists to follow detours around Lindbergh Road and Weller Road during daytime hours for pipe replacements. So there you go. Just beware of that. See, not too bad today as far as news, right? We don't have too many bad news for you, Danny.
Not too bad at all.
Real quick, if I interject a story here that we talked about on the air, and that is the fact that there are some business owners, and this is right down your alley, Danny. You're a business owner in Frederick, but the people who are coming in and they're having all these festivals on Carroll Creek, some of the business owners are saying, hey, all these outsiders are coming in and taking away business from us. So they've kind of scaled back and they've put a moratorium on allowing people to come on the creek for right now till they do kind of more of an assessment on how it's affecting downtown Frederick.
So this is very interesting that you bring this up because since the home of everything Frederick has opened on Market Street, Shannon receives all the emails to downtown Frederick partnership people, merchants. And yes, they have complained very loudly about the fact that the Carroll Creek Linear Park is under Parks and Rec and is available to rent to anybody at any time if they pay the fees and do the permitting and go through the things you have to do. And they do say that it takes away from their business They also say that they shouldn't have to purchase a vendor booth if they are a downtown merchant, right? Because people say, well, just get a booth. And a lot of times those booths are very expensive. So I'm not sure if the solution is that perhaps the city sets aside a part of Carroll Creek, maybe even over where 50 Citizens Way is, that side where local downtown businesses can set up for free and utilize the opportunity to reach the masses. Or we need to come up with, and one of the things I've suggested to many downtown businesses is you go where the people are. So whether or not you have a booth down there or do extra marketing during those events to tell people why they should be in your shop. I mean, the whole point of Carroll Creek Linear Park and the whole point of downtown was to bring more people downtown. They also complain about in the streets. They complain about all these big events. And it's crazy because that's the purpose of Downtown Frederick Partnership and Visit Frederick is to bring thousands of people to the area. So I see both sides, and I'm not sure what the solution will be. But I think it's interesting that the city is going to put a moratorium on for a while to the creek.
You bring up a good point, Danny. I'm sorry. You bring up a good point, Danny, with the things like in the street. All these people who are going downtown, they'll actually see your business. They're looking around. They're seeing different businesses that they might have never seen before. And bada bing, bada boom, they'll be a new customer.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I used to do events at the mall, at FSK Mall, and we'd bring in 4,000 people in a 3-hour period, all the merchants would complain. They'd all complain. And I'd say, when was the last time 3,000 people were in this mall at one time? Like 1986, probably. So, yes, I understand they're not shopping today. Hand them something to get them to come back within 7 days. Hey, if you come back within 7 days, you'll get a free gift bag with purchase, or you'll get 25% off. Make it worth their while. Do the incentive, but market to the people for the time. Don't try to force these people into your store when they're focused on trick-or-treating, let's say, or being at a festival. But do things to get them to come back. And that's the thing to me. Sometimes you have to get creative.
Right. It's funny because it sounds like they're biting the hand that feeds them sometimes.
Yes.
I mean, this is why we did all this. This is why Carroll Creek. And I think what's happening is that a lot of people, maybe you're further up Market Street or you're further down Patrick Street and people are walking the creek. And, there's all the parking decks and they end up going home instead of going into the stores. But it's still bringing people to downtown. Now, with that being said, most of the time when I know those festivals are going on, being somebody who's a little more local, I stay away. I don't typically go to Fire and Ice or all the other events because the crowd, it's just too many people and they're all from outside. A lot of them are from outside. And I'm like, hey, this is your day to enjoy it. I'll go another day and enjoy it.
Yeah, look, I get the crowd thing. I'm not a huge fan of crowds. Fire and Ice is spectacular, though.
Yes,
I had a great time this past year. You either have to go really early, actually, and go down and check things out and then scoot, or you go really late. My husband and I used to, if we had plans, we would go at like 8:30 and hardly, there weren't a lot of people out and you get to see the boats and that sort of thing. But I think these merchants, you're right, are going to the detriment of themselves. They're going to complain and without being creative. And I think you have to, what I would do is I would pay a couple kids $15 an hour to stand at every parking garage and flyer people like the club promoters used to do in the past. Because if your store is that great, if you've got a product that's awesome, I would highlight it and again, give people an incentive to come back within the next 2 to 3 days and make it worth their while. And I think you'll find they're going to be very successful doing that. Or make sure there's a big QR code in your window that you snap and say, hey, shoot this QR code and you're going to save 50% on your next online purchase, or whatever it is. You have to just market to people in where the consumer is at the moment. So, yeah, I don't know.
Like Danny's got another job coming to her.
Right? Marketing. There you go. See, I have
Liaison between businesses and the downtown Frederick partnership.
Yes,
I have a little different take on things. I think the demographics are changing in Frederick. I think a lot of the younger people who moved into Frederick, I think they like being around the local people in Frederick. I think they like being around people. I think they like being in the big crowds. So I think a lot of the newer people who moved into Frederick, local people will go out a lot more for these big functions going on. But in the past, yes, I get it, when Frederick was more of a smaller town. But now, with all the people moving in here, I just think locals love going out and exploring downtown. At least the ones I talk to.
100% agree. Young people, first of all, across the board, love crowds. Most of them. You know what I mean? They love being where the people are, where the action is. They don't want to be left out. And I hear Bob, too, because now that we're old fogies, sometimes we don't like being out where it's crazy and the party's going on. But look, I think we have the whole purpose of why we love this town is we have so many great things to showcase. And we want people to come and see. We want to show off a little bit and attract new people to the town. So it's very funny because it is a huge catch-22, and I think they will find if they continue to push and they say, okay, no more outside vendors are allowed to rent the amphitheater or Carroll Creek, then they're going to be like, well, where is everybody?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, but then again, if you really want to parcel this out, people on the west side are going, hey, what about us? We've got businesses down here. Their space is over here. Let's work a little bit more getting that park over there off of Butterfly Lane open and maybe put an amphitheater over there. And maybe we add some events over on this side. You know, we're working on getting, the tarnished mile golden again.
Yes.
And then there's always somebody going to complain regardless.
Always.
And, it is what it is. And I think your idea of people having outside of the boxes, type of imagination, that worked.
Yeah.
See, this is why he's the morning mayor, Danny.
I know. I'm trying. We'll
him.
get it passed here for sure. All right, what's happening with weather?
And I'm sure Danny would love to hear your comments. So comment on what you think, your opinions, because that's most important to people of Frederick. Comment your opinions
Absolutely.
under
Yes,
here.
we definitely want to hear what you have to say about that.
So getting the weather, partly cloudy. Excuse me, I'm sorry. When you're in radio, you tend to lose your voice. Partly cloudy this morning, then becoming cloudy during the afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorms is possible. High of 99, almost at that century mark. Yes, it's going to be hot, down to low of 79. Tomorrow we'll have partly cloudy skies in the morning, followed by scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. Hot and humid. It just does a number on my hair when it's hot and humid. High 98, partly to mostly cloudy skies with scattered thunderstorms before midnight. Low of 71. And I got to tell you, when I walked outside yesterday, it was just so hot. But like I told Bob this morning, even if it's wintertime, when me and Bob walk outside, it's just so hot. I don't know. Right, Bob? Right?
Paul, I'm just gonna let don't even react, Danny. Don't.
I'm trying not to.
Don't. The Orioles had the day off yesterday. They'll take on the Mets this evening tonight at 6:35. The Nationals got blanked yesterday by the St. Louis Cardinals 6-0. Paul Goldschmidt, Alec Burleson homered. Miles Mikolas pitched into the seventh inning. The Cardinals took 2 of 3 from the Nationals. They are 33-18 since Mother's Day. Capitals named Chris Patrick as their general manager on Monday, with longtime general manager Brian McCullough remaining president of hockey operations. And finally, congratulations going out to Walkersville football player Logan Boston is going to Monmouth to play football. There you go. That's a look at sports. Yeah, right? Good stuff.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, gentlemen. Well, we always love chatting about what's happening here locally, and appreciate you guys jumping in with us each morning.
Wait, before we go, I just want to say I'm going to head up to Everything Frederick. I'm going to buy some cool swag for me and Bob, the Good Morning Frederick swag, but I want it autographed by Momma Cone.
Yes,
did you do that for me?
Momma Cone will. She will.
If you're listening, Momma Cone, please.
Yes, you got it.
Does it come in a husky?
I will make sure and get the husky sizes just for you.
Batman in a little T-shirt.
Yeah, well, I know Chris likes to wear his nice and tight so he can do his Yes, there we go.
I don't want to brag, so I'll just,
On that note, I will see you guys tomorrow morning.
Take
All
care,
right.
Danny.
Bye, Danny.
Bye. Oh, boy. Well, we want to thank them so much for joining us and giving us that view on the local. Hey, look, I do want to hear what you guys feel about big events in downtown Frederick. I'd love to hear your points of view on that one. All right, real quick, we're going to talk about the giveaways that we have for you right now. Again, make sure you're checking your texts to see if you've won. Right now, we're giving away the Fast Smash passes for Crash and Catharsis. 5 of those we're going to give away this Friday. Plus, you've got your weekly giveaway of the Maryland Lottery Scratch-Offs, Tree Trekkers 3-hour climb, and the 4-pack of tickets to any regular season Keys game. And you can enter 24 hours a day, so no matter when you're watching the stream, send your text and we will get you entered to win. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to be back with Yemi and Serina, plus all the events coming up right after this.
All-in-One Events is Frederick's #1 source for event rentals and entertainment. Please visit us on the web at www.aioeventgroup.com or call 1-888-727-8902 for more information.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shannon Flannery beyond compare.
The Crab Shop is open. Join Habitat for Humanity of Frederick County, Maryland for the 9th annual Blue Crabs and Blueprints celebration on Saturday, August 24th at the Walkersville Carnival Grounds. This family-friendly day includes crabs from JB Seafood, food trucks, live music, and yard games. This fun-filled day supports Habitat's home repair and home build programs, making a difference year-round right here in Frederick County. Crabs must be pre-ordered by August 19th, so don't delay. Get your crabs now for this Maryland-style crab feed.
Oh, yes, and we can't wait for that to happen. But let's talk first about A&S Construction, a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and it's right here in Frederick. They specialize in roofing and siding, plus windows, gutters, patios, and decks. Now, Sandra has put it out there. She wants some new business, and she wants to come out and quote you on a repair, or maybe you want to get something new done. Maybe you want to change the look of your home with new siding. Don't forget, you can get $750 off any new job that you do. So check them out on the web. info@ansconstruction.net is the email, or the website ansconstruction.net. Call her at 301-703-2157 right now and tell her you saw her on Good Morning Frederick. Get your house done. I mean, there is nothing fresher than new siding or a new roof, and sometimes you need the new roof. You don't want to let that go too long. Right now is the perfect time. If you've had some problems with your roofing, now is the time to fix it. ansconstruction.net is the website. All right, let's talk about what is happening in Frederick. Happening in Frederick is sponsored by Taco Bar. It's Taco Tuesday. 20% off 3 tacos all day long. Taco Bar is at West Point Plaza on Route 40, kind of up at the top end near where 40 and alternate 40 split off. You can get a steak, chicken, al pastor, carnitas, or fish tacos. You can get vegan tacos as well, which is kind of cool. And if you're feeling adventurous, you want to try the beef tongue and or small intestine tacos that they have, tacobar1.com for all the details as well. All right, if you want to know what's happening in Frederick, you know where to go. You can go to promocircus.com. That is my company, the main company that I have established, and we have the calendar, as well as you can get the podcast on promocircus.com. If you haven't checked out the podcast, you should. You can maybe listen to some episodes that you may have missed. The best way to view this calendar, because there's so much on it, is by clicking on the agenda tab. That shows you each day individually. Kind of helps you plan things out. Maybe you've got some friends coming in for the weekend and you want to keep them busy and packed all day long. Well, if you look at this, you can see you can jump right from one event to another. All right, let's see what is happening today. Today is Tuesday, July 9th. Well, you can see all of these story times and toddler skills. These are all programmed with Frederick County Public Libraries all around our county. This is at the Myersville Musical Story Time at 10:30 at Myersville. Toddler Story Time at Middletown. You also have, Toddler Play to Learn at Middletown as well later today. Toddler Skills at 11:30 at Walkersville Public Library. So if you've got young kids, you can keep them busy at the library. Great programming there for sure. It is also Regal's Summer Movie Express Day, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 11 a.m., $1 movies. You can't beat that for keeping the kids cool on a hot day like today. Take them to the movies. You can check out the details for what movies are on their website. The Historic Homes Tour happens in Emmitsburg several times each day. You can check out seatonshrine.org for all the details on that. But if you've never been to Emmitsburg or spent any time up there, kind of cool, very nice, and it's very close to us, which we are so lucky. Summer Explorers at Brunswick Library this afternoon at 4:30. For elementary school aged, you can make friendship bracelets. I want to make a friendship bracelet. You can do that at the Brunswick Library this afternoon for elementary school aged kids at 4:30. Also, I've listed some of the vacation Bible schools that I have found around the area, not only for July, but I also added in a bunch of summer camps that are still open in August when some may stop. And I've also added in some other events for later this summer, so you can check that out. This afternoon or this evening, Momma Cone and I are going to head out to the SAS Girls Night Out. That is at Meta's Peruvian Cuisine right on Buckystown Pike. Starts at 6 o'clock. It features their adventure issue, which just came out in July. So I'm going to go down there in support of our friend Ashley from Tree Trekkers. And also the Frederick Keys are home this evening at 7 o'clock for a game against West Virginia. And if you'd like tickets to that, just let me know. I'm happy to send you along. You just got to text KEYS to our number. Also, let's see, tomorrow, Wednesday, there is an autism-friendly story time at the Sieber Arts Public Library. I was talking with Jenny Bird Rogers from Civitan and about how great Frederick is in supporting families who have children with special needs. And she was talking about Martinsburg. She's doing some work there too. And Martinsburg isn't nearly as advanced as we are here in Frederick. So I think we're very blessed to be in a community that sets aside times for kids with special needs to go to the movies, and it allows these families to get out into the community in a space that they don't feel, that they can't attend, which I love. I love that so much. All right, Maryland Double Deckers has that Kids and Families ride. That is at 10:30 this morning. Go on to MarylandDoubleDeckers.com, check out their events calendar, and maybe book for, the coming week. They're doing that twice weekly throughout the summer. Actually, I think throughout the rest of the year. And also they have a history tour that they've added, which is very, very cool. Let's see. Look, I added this. This is Creativity Art in Bloom Workshop. That's awesome. That is at Rocky Point Creamery. That is on Wednesday at 11:30. You get to try these for some classes. I think you can do one class at a time, obviously, because it's only July 10th, the 24th, and the 7th. You can do that. The 10th is Cactus Beat Gardens. Love that. I love that. And we love Rocky Point Creamery. Emily and her team out there. You can check that out too. And let's see, what else is happening? Oh, the Keys are home again tomorrow at 7 o'clock at Harry Grove Stadium on Wednesday. Thursday, of course, is a Live at 5 day. And the Home of Everything Frederick is open, so you can drop off your new shoes or school supplies there. I'm actually going to check out WFMD's Up the Creek around 5 o'clock on Thursday. Tim May is out there, and they are at Sweetie's Ice Cream Shop. So we will be up there for a little bit before we head down to Alive at 5 to hear Max Moscato, Alternative Rock. So we will check him out at Alive at 5. Just $6 to get in and $6 for your beverages. Taylor Swift fans, there is a Taylor Swift bingo happening on Thursday at 6:30. You can check that out. There's cocktails, friendship making. Oh, see, I can make friendship bracelets for the adults on Thursday evening at 6:30. Let's see, what else do we have? Coming up this weekend, Friday, we talked about this yesterday, Hero and Pastry Days at the Greek Orthodox Church on 7th Street. If you've never been and you want amazing, delicious, homemade sweets and amazing food, you can check that out for sure. The Cote Kids Shaved Ice is at the Frederick Airport. Remember, they do that every Friday. And you can go take your kids to watch planes take off and land. They have such a great time doing that. And this is the history tour I was just talking about. Maryland Double Deckers History Tour on Fridays at 11. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, and you get a view that you don't normally see in Frederick. And so that's a lot of fun. Even if you know all about Frederick history, it's rare to have seen it from the top of an open-air double-decker bus. And it's so fun. Frederick Shakespeare Festival, Midsummer Night's Dream, is happening at Hood College on Friday at 7:30. And then this weekend, let's see. Oh, we can do some yoga at the Sky Stage. I'm not very good at yoga. I can't really balance well. I think I might need some more practice, but you can go to the Sky Stage on Saturday morning. You're going to want to make sure and reserve your space or reach out to Yoga More for information on that as well. And let's see, of course, the Home of Everything Frederick is open. I've never been to this place, Bargain Bin Liquidators. Has anyone ever been there and found something amazing? They're doing their Christmas in July event on Saturday from 2 to 4 with WFRE. And then coming into Sunday, I have not sat for a while to listen to the Carillon in Baker Park, but every week there is a recital from 12:30 to 1, and I really need to get down there and enjoy that, because the bell tower, I remember when the kids were little, we'd take them down there, and every time the bells rang, my son would be like, they get so excited, which is fantastic. And then, of course, it is the summer concert series in downtown Frederick at the Band Shell. You can check that out, 7 p.m. Let's see, Aze is there this weekend. And on Sunday evening, you take a blanket, you sit out there and enjoy the great music. And then coming up on Monday, that's the Flying Cows basketball camp starts on Monday, July 15th. It also runs July 22nd. If you haven't signed up yet, you have kids who love basketball or just want to hang out with Coach Ed and some of the team, you can check that out. If you go to the website goflyingcows.com, you can get info about that. Or maybe your kids want to play tennis. Tennis camp is happening starting on Monday, July 15th from 9 to 10:30. It's at the tennis courts next to the swimming pool. That is through Parks and Recreation. And I think it's Go Play Frederick. I'll have to make sure and double check that website for you on that one there. All right, so that gives you a view of all the things happening this week, but I keep forgetting. Saturday, 12 noon downtown is the National Clustered Spires High Wheel Bike Race. It is this Saturday. Lawn party starts at City Hall at 11 a.m. Now, it looks like I've never been. I'm going. I actually had made plans and then said, oh my gosh, I can't do it this Saturday. I got to check out the high wheel race. Only kind in the country that happens is right here in Frederick. Now, there is entertainment, food trucks. You can get there early. It looks like the race rides from kind of City Hall all the way up to 2nd Street, I think, and then circles around. It's going to be a great day. It runs from 12 to 3, I think. So you're going to want to get down there early to get your spot, take your chair, maybe sit alongside Market Street or along at City Hall. And I'm definitely going to be there to check it out. And also coming August 17th, Climbing for a Cause at Tree Trekkers. Get your tickets now. It supports the American Cancer Society, Relay for Life of Frederick County. You can buy, if you don't want to climb, you can just buy like a viewing ticket. It's $5. There's going to be a ton of fun stuff going on there. We're going to chat with Ashley from Tree Trekkers later this week and have her on to talk about all the great stuff they have planned. But they always have raffles and food, and it's a great time. And what better way than to support the American Cancer Society while you're climbing in the trees. All right, to check out those links, go to promocircus.com, click on the events. If you have an event you want included on the calendar, you can do that by emailing everythingfredericklive@gmail.com. Okay, he moved here from New York in 1996, and since then has been beautifying our town with his art and his kind heart. I want to introduce you to Yemi. And if you've never met, I'm sure you have seen some of his work, especially if you've been here in Frederick for any length of time. Here's Yemi. Recognize this gentleman. This is Yemi, and we are at the home of Everything Frederick. First time you've been here?
Yes, first time I've been here.
Yeah, we need to have some of your stuff here.
And you're gonna have it, and it's really nice vibe. I love the colors, I love the lighting, I love the location.
That is all Shannon.
I love the mural in the back.
Yeah,
really fantastic.
That's
nice,
her
colorful.
son and his friend. Actually more his friend.
Mm-hmm.
Free did that. Like he had the idea, he taped it off, he painted. How amazing is that?
That is fantastic.
And then they had the idea. Oh, let's do the drip down. I just thought it was brilliant.
Really nice.
I'm not that creative, but you, sir, are. So we've talked to you before. You're involved in many projects here, but I really wanted to focus on you, Yemi, the artist, and kind of give people how you got to Frederick and what art means to you.
For me, art is like oxygen and water, because it's something that I do that gives me hope for the future, that feeds my artistic need to create. You know how interesting, I mean, not to be blasphemous or anything, but you know, a creator created this universe, right? And on a very small grain of sand level, I can visualize that creator, the joy that that creator gets from creating things. So those of us that create art, or that create a plane, or that create a car, I can imagine how those people feel. I know how I feel as an artist.
Yeah.
Because to me, creating art, I would literally do it for free if I could figure out a way to eat and pay my bills.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
that good.
I gotta do that.
It's so good, it's so much fun.
Yeah, and that is, I think, most true creators feel the same way. It is what you receive by giving this of yourself, right? Because it is an extension of you. Everything you create is a piece of you that you give, and when you get the feedback that impacts somebody else,
Yes.
then that is
Yes.
joy for you.
Yes. It really is so true. When people say, when people react, when people comment, when people, buy, your work that you did from a place of just pure joy.
Yeah.
And when somebody says, you know what, I really like this piece of art that you created for me, and you can see the joy in their face.
Yeah.
And so it's like a cycle of joy. Like the joy that comes from you goes to them and then comes back to you, and it's just like this nice cycle,
Yeah.
positive cycle.
Yeah, it's a great place to be.
It's wonderful.
Have you ever spent time as the starving artist? Have you ever had those moments?
I've been very, very fortunate that I've only had a couple of those kinds of moments.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the story. I started working as an artist in 1984 in Manhattan, New York. Okay. And in 1984, I was so blessed, literally. And frankly, I don't think I was that good when I was younger. Okay. I was okay, but I wasn't great, And that year was like gangbusters year. My first year out as an illustrator. I mean, I was, really bringing in a lot of work, really high profile work. But then but what happened was this, I was so busy in 1984 that I was working almost like 18 hours a day, 6-7 days a week.
Yeah.
And I didn't know as a young artist that you can't work at that pace without letting a little bit of the pressure out of the pressure valve of the pressure cooker, right? Because if you do that, if you keep working like that, you will burn out. And I didn't even knew what a burnout was.
Yeah.
But I learned it that year. So in 1985, I literally almost could not work.
Yeah.
Because I would start working and thinking, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And what happened was, even though I had work, I didn't feel like doing the work. And what happens if you're not working as an artist, if you're not producing work and delivering the work to the customer, you will not have cash coming in.
Yeah.
And if you don't have cash coming in, then you're not going to eat.
Right.
But in 1985, I was really fortunate to be living in this apartment building owned by this lady named Louisa. I forget her last name now. My landlady's name was Louisa. And Louisa lived on top of me. And I was paying at the time in Manhattan $350 a month for a one bedroom.
What?
Yes.
That's probably going for like $3,500 a month.
Easily. Maybe $6,000.
Probably.
Easily. So I paid $300, and I had so little money, there were months I couldn't pay it.
Yeah.
And you know what I did? Now, it's a townhouse, right? And Louisa literally lives up beneath, on the floor beneath me. I don't know if I said up top, beneath me. And I would lay in my bed, and when you shift in your bed and the bed goes,
Yeah.
and if the bed made an noise, Louisa would come knocking on the door. Yemi, where's the rent?
Because she knew you were there.
Because I knew it was it. So I would lay still until I knew that she wasn't home anymore. And that was how I kind of got by. But Louisa also did some interesting things to me. She literally would bring me food.
Oh.
And she was from Puerto Rico. She would bring me plantains and rice and pork and just bring it to me so spontaneous, without me asking. She would just bring it to me, and I would never forget that woman, what she did for me.
Kindness. That's very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes. So that year I started, but I learned, I said, you know what, I will never let this happen again.
Yeah.
And so the next year I started, when I would get jobs in, I would save a lot of money. That's how I was able to sustain myself.
Yeah.
And I've had a slow time in 1995, actually. Funny enough, 1995 was another slow year.
Yeah.
But 1995, I was prepared. I was actually prepared for that slowness, so I was able to write it out.
You learned your lesson.
Learned my lesson.
Yeah. And what year did you come to Frederick?
I came to Frederick in 1996.
Okay.
So the year after the slowdown, by 1996, I came to Frederick, and really, this is something for the artists out there who are the young artists that are starting out, that you have to allow yourself to have options. Okay, you have to allow yourself to know that things ultimately are going to be okay. And number one, number two, have options. And the way to have options is to do many things in the genre of art. Okay, don't just do, if you're doing T-shirts, don't just do T-shirts. Do also some mugs. Do also some pants or whatever. Art is something, because we do it so joyfully. We literally would do it for free. That sometimes we're not thinking of the money, but we do have to think of the money, because if you don't think of the money, you're not going to eat. I started as an illustrator when I was, in 1984. I started as an illustrator, and just for point of reference, I did like over 200 or 300 postage stamps for different countries. I've done like New York subway posters. I've done magazine covers, Newsweek, Time Magazine, etc., New York Times. So I've done all that. But in 1995, because of the slowdown that I had in my business in 1995, I decided to start licensing my work. And licensing means that you take a company like a big company that does T-shirts or mugs or posters or whatever, and you do a design. Let's say you do a design of your beautiful face, and I say, hey, I think Dani's beautiful face will sell on a poster. So I license that to a big company, and then they sell that poster worldwide, and then you get a few dollars from that.
Gotcha.
Okay, you get like maybe 2, 3, 5% of the sales.
Right.
And it amounts to, because it's being sold hundreds of thousands
Right.
of times, being sold millions of times, you're getting some nice checks in. But the beauty of that is you do the work one time and you keep making money from
residual.
that. The residuals.
Yes.
That's really the key. And again, that came from the fact that I starved.
Right.
Okay, in 85, and I got slow in 95. And so you always have to think outside the box. There's nothing like being hungry or being afraid of like being chased or whatever to really open the keys, your mind, your creative mind. Because
Yeah.
when you're thinking of, hey, I'm going to be hungry if I don't do
Right.
something in the future, then it really, really makes you snap to and say, okay, fine, I got to now figure out a way to do this and
Yeah.
make money so I can eat.
When your back's against the wall, there are times that is when you show yourself how
Yes.
well you can survive.
Yes, and also, sometimes, really, I believe most times, that the things that on the first blush appear to be a negative thing are really a way of the Creator saying, I will bless you in a different way.
Yes.
I'm going to take you from this situation, put you over
I'm
here.
gonna make you walk
because
this path
Exactly, and
to
that
see.
really helps you
Yes.
to be actually be better, smarter, wiser, etc.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that I think too, with age, comes the faith that everything happens for a reason,
Yes,
right? And whether
yes.
you can see the end result of that path or
Yes.
not at the time,
Yes.
when you have the faith that that's what's happening, then
Yes.
things do work out because
Yes.
you're open to it.
Very true.
Yes.
And faith also, the faith that you know, and frankly, having a failure here and a failure there, really, and then surmounting the failure
It's important.
helps
I
you
think.
understand that, you know what, I am blessed and I believe I will be able to do this. And that really takes a lot of the worry out of it so that you can focus the energy that you would normally focus on the worry, you can focus that energy on the creative
Yes,
solution. you know?
100%.
Yep.
100%. Something that you create that when you do it, you go, this is the best.
Asking that question is like asking me which one
What's
of
your
my
favorite
10
chili?
kids, right?
Which is your favorite?
Yeah,
I know.
but at the same time,
But you do have an easiest child. That's what I always say.
that's very true. My easiest child really is my gift line.
Yeah.
You know, my gift lines, because I do Boonesboro, Thurmont, Frederick, etc. And that really is because
Yeah.
I have, teams of people here in Frederick that are able to actually do the design, and I train all of them like how to make the pieces, the ornaments and the wine glasses and the mugs and everything else, and then they make them.
Yes. So
And
you're
so-
not in the process. So you
Right.
can create once
I can create
and
ones.
kind of like
and then it's-
licensing your own stuff
it's
to your own company.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Exactly like, and
Yeah.
the people that I work with, some of them like 10, 14 years.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I believe in treating people really well, and treating the people that I work with, my partners, really well, and so they never leave. you
Yeah.
know? And so
That's lovely.
So this way you form a bond, and you
Yeah.
know each other very well. I can look at Kathy's face and I know how she feels. She can look at my face and know how I feel.
Yeah.
And really, I get the most joy out of that
Yeah.
because we sell tens of thousands of items, right?
Yeah.
And and each item literally is like a little child of mine
Yeah.
that goes to your house or to your
Yeah.
house, and the joy that I get, and frankly, you know how you send your kids to college and you don't know what they're doing in college, where you pray that they're okay.
Yeah.
So like that, I send all these kids out, and they're all in everybody's homes, and I only get, like, sometimes I get people say to me just out of the blue, "Hey, Yemi, I have you." People I don't even know.
Yeah.
I have your ornaments. I really
an
love
ornament,
them.
yeah.
It's like, it makes me feel so good that, oh, my boys are doing really well at your house.
Yes, they are. Where right now is the easiest place for people to order your stuff?
If they go to yemiart.com,
And a company comes to you and says, "Hey,
Yes.
we'd love to gift our clients or our customers a Yemi."
Yep.
You will do something for them too.
Oh, I do customs for churches, for corporations, for individuals.
Fundraisers.
Yes, and fundraisers. I've done a lot of fundraisers.
Yes, you have.
Yes, and so that really, like I said, that to me is the most joyful thing that I do, and the easiest thing that I do. Now, easy doesn't mean it's not like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not.
But it's easier
good,
because I don't have to make 10,000 pieces. I can make one design. It will take me several weeks to make the design.
Yeah.
But then Kathy and her team just take it from there.
And
they
it's
make
all
them.
customized. That's what I love too. Is you get the feeling and you get what the people want, and then you're able to customize this.
Exactly.
art.
Exactly.
Well, you need to own a piece of Yemi, one of his 10,000 kids, and go to yemiart.com. We'll make sure it's on the screen, and trust me, we're going to be seeing a lot of him over the next at least 12 to 18 months, because there's some big projects in the works that we'll be talking about, and we'll be revisiting, because we're going to need your help on some of them. So we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right, want to thank Yemi, and there are some fun projects coming up that he is working on, and we will be hearing lots more about those. I want to thank Tommy Skaggs during this broadcast for donating to Souls of Love. You are phenomenal, my friend. Thank you so much. And Tommy is a huge supporter. I met him years ago when I was helping with the Frederick Rescue Mission, and he's amazing. So thank you so much. We're going to take one more quick break, and then we learn about how Serina and the team at Dublin Roasters roasts the beans to make the coffee so many of you love. And I only say you because I don't drink coffee, so it has nothing to do with her beans versus anyone else's beans. But we're going to find out more when Momma Cone and I visit Serina at Dublin Roasters, and it's all coming up just after this.
Elevate your next party with Dreamscape Slumber Events. Over 12 themes and customization available for kids, teens, and adults to enjoy. Don't have the space? We have solutions for that too. Search Dreamscape Slumber Events on Facebook.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come fling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art Splatter Room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
All right, here we go. With a brand new roaster on the premises, Serina's had to schedule herself time to roast the beans, which is now a daily task. Momma Cone and I find out how decaf is made and blown away to learn about which beans have the most caffeine. Let's say hi to Serina.
Grown on trees, which is pretty fantastic. You know when to pick it. It's a red cherry. It's so pretty. I'm not sure if you can see that. So that is a bush that is ready to be picked. Very labor intensive. So the farmers merge on each farm and they have a bucket in hand and they literally just pick the ones that are cherries, hoping not to get twigs in there or green, which is not ready, or overripe. So they pick the beans and then they wash the beans, they peel the husks off, and then they're dried. And when they're dried, they're put in these burlap sacks, and it takes about 17 days to dry to get that moisture level low enough so that they don't mold on the trip over. They literally are kind of a green bean, and all the origins are different. This one's from Guatemala, and they're really pretty. We buy a very well screened bean, which means they are hand picked to make sure we get kind of the cream of the crop.
How long from picking to shipping to receiving?
That depends on which part of the world they're coming from.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you know, a voyage over from Colombia could be several days. It
Okay.
could be weeks in customs.
Yeah.
And maybe a whole month to get here, really, to
Okay.
the U.S.
Yeah.
And then they're warehoused, and I purchase them, and sometimes I can pick up.
What is the longest time that a bean can go from pick, drying, packaging to utilizing and still being fresh or whatever you need?
Well, it really helps in the storage of them.
Okay.
So our beans are climate controlled, temperatured back here, and we make sure that it's never an extreme cold or hot.
Right.
That's what's going to cause the process of, you know,
Okay.
moisture coming back out and everything. We've had beans up to a year of
Okay.
storage, but
Yeah.
it really doesn't happen for us
Yeah.
because we go through about 2,500 pounds a week. So that's about 25 bags a week, probably.
Okay.
So our stock that we get in is usually never here for more than a couple weeks,
Yeah.
which is a good problem to have. And it also keeps me on my feet, meeting new people, new farmers,
Yeah.
new cooperatives, so that we can keep a fresh influx of beans coming in.
So do you research the farms and the farmers in the areas that you already work with, or just new places all the time?
The answer, yeah, absolutely.
Is there like a Facebook
Both.
for
Yeah. Well, you know,
bean farmers?
It's such a, being one of the only roasters here in Maryland, and especially in Frederick and the region, I'm like a little fish in a tank.
Right.
So everybody looks up, you know, roasters, and they find me. So that I'm always getting new samples shipped to me. I'm hearing stories, you know, about specific farms in different regions. Any
That's
causes,
amazing.
I just love it.
Yeah.
Rwanda just came to us, and it's from a place in a farm that is called Cafe Feminino, woman-owned. There's a lot of really unique places. Some of them, the money does go back to the families and the cities that actually work together to
Support,
pick beans,
yeah.
you know, cooperatives and things. So I really keep an eye out for that.
How often do you roast? Is this?
This is, we're pretty much roasting daily now.
Oh, wow.
We have 4 or 5 other people here at Dublin that roast. So much so, we got this new machine, and we're
Yeah.
trying to name her.
I know.
We put it out there. We've got some amazing names. I kind of like Rosie. I feel like she's a Rosie. The last roaster we had, you know, it's a 50-year-old roaster, and her name was Poppy.
Yeah.
It really suit her.
Yeah.
So this is possibly going to be Rosie. And so she's roasting every day. Honestly, I have to fight now to be able to roast.
Everybody
Because everybody
wants to
else
roast
took
with
it
the
from
new
me.
machine.
Because
Love
she's such an easy machine to roast on,
Yeah.
and very efficient.
Didn't have many
It's
of the
lovely.
quirks, I guess, that a 50-year-old machine.
Yeah, not as
might
many
have.
quirks. You know, we had to spin around a couple times and pet her a little bit, and there was a lot. Now
love
it's a
it.
little bit more modernized.
Yeah.
So now it was like crickets
Yeah.
getting people to roast. They're like, I don't know. We don't know how Poppy works. What we're doing, this air roaster, it's a Civets air roaster from Oregon. And it took about 4 to 6 months to build. And we did a few add-ons here. It's very efficient gas. It collects the chaff in a specific area, and the chaff is the outer coating of the bean, kind of sloughs off as it's roasting. And it's a very organic material that we save up and we give to customers so that they can have for their gardens. So it's very recyclable, very organic.
Nice.
So that's saved in a specific container, the bottom of that too. And then the rest is hot air just goes up.
Yeah.
Pardon my dusting. I can't reach that high.
Yeah.
So then also in this part, and we're gonna have this live, But the unique thing is with this roaster, some of the benefits, you can see it roasting. It's got a large window.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And at the end of the roasting cycle, it cools in this chamber. It's constantly moving the beans, cooling them in a natural way. And then we can dump them into a bucket or bin, and then they're bagged and either sold at Dublin or shipped all around the country, as well as delivered 7 days a week to anybody in Frederick, Newmarket, the surrounding area. So, and that's what those are. Those are all orders ready to go to people today.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So how many orders do you get in a typical week? Do you know?
In a week, I'd say 150 to 200 orders a week. Not only is it like a once in a blue moon order, it's on a regular subscription order too.
Nice.
So you can subscribe and forget about it. You got your favorite coffee, you can have that weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. It can be whenever you want.
Is there any more room to grow here at this location at all?
No, I don't think so unless we go up.
Right.
And I'm kind of afraid of heights,
Yeah.
so I don't think we're going up.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have used every square inch, I see.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
and then some. So,
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring our work smarter, not harder card over here because I'm not a young chicken anymore, and I'll be doing this when I'm propped up, I'm sure. All right, and I'm also have a height deficiency. So she pours in here. I'm not sure if you can see it pour in.
Yeah.
Get another one. So this roasts about 33 pounds at a time. And you can go under that. Over that is a little sluggish, so we don't want to do that. We want to be able to move the beans around freely. All right, here we are moving. So in a few seconds over there, you're gonna see a flame that comes out. It's this way. Coming on in a second. There you go. So now the heat's added. What I love in this machine is that it roasts every single bean 100% evenly. On the traditional style, it only roasted the beans at the bottom, and they fluctuated. So if that bean went around twice, 3 times, it was only heated at a certain point. So this will roast, I set it to roast at about 420 degrees.
Okay.
And it'll take about, it's the first roast of the day, so it'll take about 15 minutes to roast.
Okay.
So this one's a light roasted bean, this is amaretto.
Doesn't it smell good?
What we try to do is we let the beans cool. We do them 1 pound at a time in those buckets over there. So we place 1 pound of the light roasted beans and 1 tablespoon of the syrup that goes on it. Mix it up. And the longer you let it sit on the bean, the more it absorbs into the bean. So it's better. So we let this sit overnight.
Okay.
We did this yesterday. And now I ground it today and I'm processing all the orders. We never roast unless we have an order.
Yeah.
So all of this and all this is because we have an order. So your order's roasted the same day.
Right.
Dublin House Blend, of course, and we've been voted again Best Coffee House for 2024, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Go change that label.
Great.
So it's not always about the blends or the single estate. A single estate is where it comes from in the country.
Gotcha.
So this is a single estate from India and from Brazil.
Right.
This one is a roast type. So it could be French roast, Viennese.
Okay.
Could be blonde, which is a very light.
Okay.
So French roast is, you can see it almost to oils. That's what this is.
Okay.
And I think we use the Vietnamese bean for this.
Okay, right. So, right, it doesn't, it just says French roast. It has nothing to do with France. It's about the type, right?
The French don't grow coffee.
Right.
And there's our classic bolt and a little half pound of Serina.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
people can get really specific.
Yeah.
Coffee Club, for example, like they want something very dark, automatic drip, 1 pound weekly. We can be that specific. So this is specifically for
nice. Okay.
Yeah. We
I
have
love your
folks-
little notes on everyone.
I always like to customize a note.
Yeah.
Whoever does the order, signs it with love.
Yes, absolutely. That's
So
great.
this process also employs a lot of awesome people from a lot of
Yeah.
agencies.
Yeah.
So like we have Yesenia from the Arc working over there.
Yeah.
Her favorite thing to do on the weekends when she's done with her job of dishes and running food and stuff is to bag coffee. We've got a lot of great people that we hire from the Arc.
Yes.
Community Living, Rock Creek School.
Yeah.
We couldn't run this place without them. Let's check on our roast.
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
check on
do
the
it.
roast.
See where it's getting browner?
Yeah.
It's 390 degrees in there right now, and we're trying to get to 420.
Oh, God.
And we're at almost 12 minutes. What happens, we call it first crack. That's when the bean opens up and you start to smell the aroma. Also, little known fact, the darker the bean, the less caffeine. So this has a lot of caffeine because we're just going to light roast the Guatemala.
I
So
did
your
not know that.
espressos, your French roast, the oily dark beans, they have a fraction of the caffeine.
That's interesting because everybody's always like shots of espresso, or
Yeah.
they make it sound like that's like
Yeah. So 1 cup of coffee, like what your mom has, is equivalent to the caffeine, more caffeine than a latte.
okay.
2 shots of espresso.
So a decaf, it's the roasting process that makes it decaf, or it's an actual bean is decaf?
I'll show you. It's the water process. It's a Swiss water, which means it has been flushed with water for 8 hours to get the caffeine out and then dried.
What?
So it's a little different in color, you can see, right?
Yeah.
So this is a Colombian that's decaf. This is a regular Colombian. So look at the difference. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So decaf is simply it's been soaked in water and it it pulls out.
Flushes the caffeine out. Yeah. So when we only buy a non-chemical process,
Right.
So if you're buying from anywhere, I don't care. It's okay if you don't buy from me.
Yeah.
But if you're buying decaf, you need to look at the blue label because that is 100% organic water process. Do you know what they use in caffeine? Caffeinated? You might not want to know. Formaldehyde
Yeah.
is one of them.
Doesn't surprise
There's
me.
a lot of different chemicals you use, and it really affects your skin and your body and your organs. So if you're going to do it and you're going to go healthy, go with the Swiss water. So, all right, here's our next process is cooling down. The gas shut off, and now it's just cooling. It stops at 322.
Yeah.
Now when it reaches 300, we're going to drop it into that
Okay.
additional cooling chamber. All right, here we go. So what happened, that loud noise is pulling the heat out to the outdoors. So we have a lost and found. These are all the different things that we've found in the roast.
You are kidding.
No joke. So we do watch. Now there are de-stoner features and things, but that's not gonna. I don't even know what that is.
It looks like a pin.
pin.
For
I was hoping it was a whistle, but it's not.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we got a lot of fun things.
Oh my God.
But I mean, that's over a decade.
Here we go. I mean, that's
So this,
incredible.
This Guatemala we use as a single estate if people want something from Guatemala. We also use it for our flavoring beans if we want, French
so if somebody
vanilla, Highlander
okay, this is
Grog,
the one
yeah.
you do.
This is the one. Because it's just nice and light and it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
And I think her name might be Rosie. She gets every single bean out of there. She's like not messing around.
How many crops can a coffee bean tree withstand before it may not produce the same quality?
It's a good question because they do rotate crops just like here, in Frederick.
ground.
You'll see them rotated.
Okay.
You will also, it's become very scientific and organized. So each row of trees will have at the front of the row the name, a linear number, a row, the varietal, the picking time and everything. And that also transfers to what's on the bag. So you can literally go back and find out where your coffee
bean came from. Yeah. Can these trees produce for decades and be as long as obviously they're cared for?
Pruned, cared for.
Okay.
The environment is, good for
obviously.
them.
Yeah. We appreciate you letting us come check this out. This is so interesting to me. All right, we want to thank Serina Roy at Dublin Roasters. And yes, I don't drink coffee, but a lot of people I know do, including Momma Cone, and she enjoyed her cup of coffee as well. All right, just want to take a quick second for a shameless plug to ask for votes. I've never been nominated before, and we're in 2 categories. You can go vote for us every day until July, I think, 19th or something, for a blog, a podcast, or media, and also woman-owned business for the SAS Choice Awards. I always appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much. All right, tomorrow I sit down with Devin and Peter from High Rock, and I visit Partners in Care's thrift store for the first time. Never even knew that existed. And a reminder, we've got the Good Morning Frederick podcast, so if you're driving and can't watch on YouTube, you can listen to the Good Morning Frederick podcast wherever you get your downloads, and we're on all the socials. So while you have a minute, search, follow, like, subscribe, comment, do all the things, because that does help us expand our reach. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All right, have a great Tuesday. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate all your comments. Get out there. Be great, Frederick.
From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view. There's something special here, you feel it too. Good morning, Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view. There's something special here, you feel it too. Your host